Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode. Today I wanted to talk about the exclusive weapons that are being introduced in Season 5 and what I now think is going to happen with Morrison's exclusive weapon. Again, that's not going to be until week 6. We're about 3 weeks away from getting Morrison's exclusive weapon. Yes, about 2.5 weeks now, if you want to be more specific. In about 2.5 weeks, we're going to have Morrison's exclusive weapon, so we'll know for sure. But based on what we have seen so far with both Fiona's exclusive weapon and with Stepman's exclusive weapon that just dropped this week, we are seeing the counters to the teams that are countering those teams. And what I mean by that is if you are running a missile team, who's your counter? Tanks. Okay, so with Fiona, what she's doing here with her exclusive weapon is she is allowing you to debuff the other team and strip them of their buff. So there's two different skills here. Well, this one is actually a passive when you get it to level 30, but this skill here is going to remove two stacks of buffs applied by the heroes. And then up whenever you get this maxed at level 30, you can have up to 5 enemy buffs basically removed. It's removing 5 buffs in total. And when you open this up here where it says buffs applied, they changed this wording a couple different times now. And basically it is anything that either a main attack, auto attack, or a tactic ability, which is like the hero skill. Either one of those, if there is some kind of buff that's being applied, this skill can strip that buff. So it's walking you through here, counterattack, shields, all that stuff. So yes, any of those things that can be applied. And then it tells you the order, which is priority. And the list is the entire list of buffs that can be applied. And I know people ask me like, oh, well, I didn't see this buff on there. It's all buffs. This is just the order of priority, basically. So whenever you have these buffs on here, these are going to be the first buffs to be stripped off that hero. And then any other buffs after that, they could also be stripped. But these are the main ones that it's going to be targeting first. And that's going to be reduced physical damage taken, defense boost, attack speed up, energy damage boost, counterattack, and the other buffs, like I was saying. So whenever you read this list, the main things on here are going to be focused towards tanks and aircraft teams. So yeah, it's really focusing on countering tank teams, if you think about it, and then also, they've already countered aircraft teams pretty well, but this is going to really help with the tank teams by stripping those buffs from the tank teams. And now when we look at Stepman, you'll see his auto attack does a couple different things. One, it's creating this charge ability, which gives him basically like another attack. But this main auto attack here is going to do damage plus an additional shield damage directly to shield. So if they have a shield, it's going to do damage. If not, this attack does nothing, or the shield damage attack does nothing. It'll still do the 520% of attack, but it's not going to do the additional 100 if there is no shield applied. And if you ask me, that's why I am not happy with this, because it's not something that can be used in a lot of different scenarios. It's only if they have a shield. If they don't have a shield, you're losing out on that. So that's my take on it. I know a lot of people argue with me that say, oh, this is great, you're stripping shields, this is great for aircraft. Yeah, I mean, it's really a counter for aircraft teams mostly, because you're having Lucius. Lucius is putting all kinds of shields now that he's got his exclusive weapon, especially if you're fighting people that have at least a level 10 exclusive weapon on their Lucius. You're going to see a lot of shields put out. So this is going to be doing a lot of shield damage to all the heroes that have shields. And again, it's shield damage. Yes, you're going to strip shields, but once the shields drop, it's not going to do anything else. Or if they don't have shields, this is not going to do anything. It's just going to do the 520%. That shield damage just goes away essentially at that point. And then same thing with this charge attack. It's going to do energy damage equal to 120%. But if they don't have a shield, that second piece of this doesn't hit. I wish they would have done a this or that kind of thing. So either it's going to do shield damage equal to this %, or it's going to do just normal damage equal to this % of attack. But hey, again, that's just my opinion. I've said that to them. I asked if they would do that. I don't know if they're going to look at it or not. Because I really wish they would focus more on just raw damage with Stepman, because he is only one of 2 damage dealers on the tank team. So you really only have 2 places to get your damage. And if Kim is doing all the main damage and then Stepman is just kind of like doing this backup role thing, I think that's kind of a miss on their end. But going back to what these 2 heroes are doing. So these are the 2 weapons that are introduced so far in Season 6, or Season 5, which I feel like we're in Season 6 because it's just been so long. The counters are being countered. So you have your tank team going after aircraft team. You have your missile team that seems to be going after tank teams. And so it's building this really interesting dynamic. And so what I think may happen is what I think would make aircraft just broken is Morrison would have a counter ability for missile. And if that's the case, aircraft is going to be extremely, extremely strong. Going back to my main account real quick, I wanted to show what this team is doing right now. So this is in Season 5. I have the 4+1 card. And if you don't know what that means if I have another hero type on a team, just one additional hero type, like my tank hero, my Murphy here, it is still going to give me that full 20% buff. So if you look on the right side and left side, both teams have that 20% buff. So I don't lose out on that full team buff. And that is pretty big because that gives you kind of a straight up head-to-head comparison of how strong teams are. And if you're looking at this, you can see this is a missile team I'm going up against. And it is very, very close. He's stronger than me by almost 1,000,000 power. He's got a bigger gorilla. He's got some level 30 weapons on all of his heroes. Doesn't have Fiona yet. I was really hoping to run into somebody built like this with Fiona's weapon, even just say level 10, just to see what it does. But right now, I mean, without her weapon in here, I was able to come super close to beating this guy. Just a few troops, just a few hits left. And your typical, Adam in the back row with Swift in the front row here. You have, like I said, all level 30 weapons on the heroes that he has unlocked, and gear pretty darn close to maxed out. Skills all maxed out on the heroes there. And then army, you're going to look at this almost 200 level 200 drone. Skill chips pretty high up there too. Gorilla pretty high as well, over 300 on everything. So most of these stats here has a pretty big advantage on me. I do have more in the tactical weapon tree, so I do have a little bit of a bump there. But otherwise, he's got me beat overall in power out of tech as well. And then scrolling down here, you can see I also don't have my attack buff on for my tactic card. I actually had the monster buff on because I was doing monster rallies, so that was a bit of a downside. With this hit, I think if I would have had that on here, that probably would have swung this in my favor. But I also do have level 11 troops where he had level 10 troops, so that makes a little bit of a difference. But I just wanted to show this real quick, and I wanted to run through all those details to show you, hey, like he didn't have a bunch of stuff all messed up. This is a pretty well-built team, pretty strong team. And I was almost able to beat him with an aircraft team that is 1,000,000 power weaker. It's not 1,000,000 power stronger, 1,000,000 power weaker. So if that's doing that now, yes, he could throw on Fiona's weapon. That's probably going to change it in his favor a fair amount because it's going to be stripping off the shields and damage mitigations, whatever it may be. But if I get Morrison's exclusive weapon and it's going to be doing something to, say, strip counterattacks or increase damage output when you're getting countered, whatever it may be, it's going to be crazy. This build takes Sarah out, you put Morrison in there, he's got his exclusive weapon. This team is going to be absolutely nuts. So if that's the way they're going to play this, I can tell you right now, aircraft is going to be even stronger. Yes, tank, I think a lot of people are saying tank is going to be pretty good here, but I just think that aircraft is going to be pretty hard to beat. You're going to have to move some players around, maybe throw Adam in the tank team, and hey, I mean that's what it's about. If we can do that consistently, have teams with like one hero, say an Adam or a Murphy or a Lucius on a different squad to make things work, I think that's pretty fun. Being creative with the teams, the lineups, which I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that you're not just running the same things. It's just interesting to see what people come up with. But I think these exclusive weapons in season 5 are really changing up the dynamic now. I know I'm pretty excited for it to come out. I'm getting Skylar's weapon up to 30, so she gets that instant stun. That's going to give me a pretty big bump whenever she gets that, and then I'll have Morrison to work on then. Now, obviously, I'll be pushing him to level 30 ASAP, and then I'll have 6 heroes with maxed out exclusive, or 5 heroes with maxed out exclusive weapons on this main team here, aside from my Murphy. And yeah, I'm just interested to see how this thing plays out after season 5. And speaking of post-season 5, there's talks about the expansion. I not really many details yet, but they said that they're going to be opening this up. And the only times they've expanded the base was either for headquarters levels, which was about the same time that we got the Overlord. And I think that was pretty much it. So I don't know if that means we're getting headquarters 3rd or headquarters 40 soon. But they did say they were going to expand the base post season 5. At least that's something that was shared at one point with some individuals. So I guess we'll find out. The end of season 5 is really only 4.5 weeks away. So we're not too far away from finding out what happens after season 5 here. Transfer event, they're supposed to be making some huge changes to the transfer event. So we'll see what that looks like, if we're going to be able to move multiple VIP 18s to the same server at the same time, move an entire alliance together. I don't know. They're exploring those options, seeing what that means. If they were to open it up, what kind of chaos is going to ensue. I got to tell you, though, one way or the other, I don't think there's a way around it. I think they just got to do it. You got too many players that are stuck and they can't move their accounts and they're frustrated. And so unless you want to have not only smaller players leave, but then also, VIP 18s and VIP 17s leave because they also can't move. I mean, they just have to do it. They just have to bite the bullet and get it done. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think about all this stuff. Do you agree with the exclusive weapons they've come out with in Season 5 so far? What do you think about the transfer event post-Season 5? What do you guys want to see with that? Let me know in the comments below. I always share this stuff. I try to pass it along, share everybody's comments and everything. So let me know. And thanks again for watching, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one.